Hello, fellow builders!
Hello!
Oh, wow!
Hello, fellow builders!
That was actually worse.
Yeah. Welcome to a live episode of the Family Builders Podcast. In honor of, and this is unbelievable,
It is.
2 years of podcasting. Technical expert, my co-host, Brother Harold. That was full on. Yes. No, it's not. Yeah, it's decorative.
Low budget.
We are coming to you live from the palatial Crystal Studios. Right atop Hollywood Hills in beautiful, sunny, slightly communistic. We're excited. My wife and I are here. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, Mrs. Moore!
Filming this every week at our house, where she has to leave the house so I can have quiet while I'm producing the podcast. And of course, Brother Harold's family, they're all quiet anyways.
Oh, yeah. All
All 37. We're thankful for our listeners. We're glad to be here.
Brother Kenny says, congratulations, 2 years, and happy Valentine's Day. You gotta be a faithful listener to know
That's
Thanks, Brother Kenny.
Brother Kenny was going to receive a prize.
Yeah, to cross that
Scratch his name off. Big X's. We're excited to be here. We got some fun stuff to do tonight. We're going to have a question and answer time with all of you, but you at home as well can participate by just commenting your questions. And if you have if you want to do it anonymously, I guess you could email us your question, familybuilderspodcast@gmail.com. And I've got my phone here, so I'll get those real quick along with updates on the Chicago Cubs playoff game that I am missing to be with you. So I really want to appreciate the depths of my love and burden for this podcast.
We're on the clock.
Okay. Well, so that's what we're doing tonight. We're having a live question and answer time. We've got some door prizes.
We do. So we have 4 door prizes. If you walk through the door, you are entered into the door prize. So here's how we do it. There are 4 rows. So the first number is the row. The second number is the seat. And we're starting from my right, excluding the orchestra area. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. So just to give you an example, here's one of the door prizes. We have a few, so come see me after, and we'll get you your surprise prize. No. We need to know. We're local.
High dollar items.
All right, so here we go. Remember the first number is the row, the next number is the seat. So 23, row 2, seat 3.
No, hold on.
This is what happens. You plan your seats, and then someone adjusts the seats. It was never supposed to be that seat, but one of my dearest friends decides, nope, there's not a seat here. I'm going to put one here. And no, he didn't do that. So, scratch that one. Family and friends. Wow. How about the next one?
No. I think in the interest of full disclosure and honesty, we go with, you've had these numbers on here. And, I did see you write the numbers in, after everybody sat down, but you have numbers on here. Seat number, if you're in the second row, the third seat, would you please stand?
And state your name. What was your name?
Sherry Harold.
I love her! It wasn't on purpose. Okay, moving on. We're going to clap. Number 15. Row 1,
Row
seat
1,
5.
seat 5.
Alright, how about number 36, or close to it? Who's the closest at 36? Row 3, seat 6.
That would be the birthday girl.
Hey, the birthday! Alright, let's say the last number.
Number 42.
Row 4, seat 2. I also have something for everyone. And so, how are we going to do that?
At the end.
At the end, I do have something for everyone that walked through the door, including the orchestra.
By being here, participating tonight, you don't just walk away with increased knowledge, but with actual cool stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You don't get that on other podcasts. By the way, I just want to let everybody know, we got an email that our podcast is one of the highest ranked downloaded podcasts on Apple iTunes. In fact,
But wait, there's more.
we are ranked number 21 out of all the podcasts in the family genre on Apple iTunes downloads.
There's more.
In the country of God. So,
And there's only 18 total.
to our listeners in Ghana, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Without you, there'd be no reason to do this. We appreciate that. And we're in the top 50 in kids and family, which is a bigger genre, with the top 50 downloaded podcasts on Apple iTunes.
In Ghana.
So I'm telling you, my wife and I, every year we come and I preach for the conference, and then we leave and we go on vacation. We were planning to go to Ghana, but now we can't because it would just be too disruptive. We wouldn't be able to have any peace, the paparazzi and everything. So
Understood.
we're gonna have to choose. We're gonna have to just pick a different. I apologize if you were planning to see us there. I'm sorry. Send us an email. I'll send you a autographed picture of my dog.
We're gonna be good in America one day.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. I'm a dad. Did I mention that? I'm a dad.
No. So anyways, all right. We announced on our podcast last week that if you couldn't be here tonight, but you sent an email, the first 2 email respondents were going to get a door prize as well. However, we had some technical problems getting the podcast put up, and it didn't get up until late on Saturday, and then of course people were busy in church on Sunday. So we're going to extend it out. If you are listening to this will be your last warning. Okay, you have up until this week, and what did we decide?
Pretend we know. Just say it.
Okay, so we're going to say the first 2
what we
will
said.
get it, but also the next 2 that we get after right now at Synchronize Your Watches. 6:35. That can't be right. 6:41. I can't tell time. These handles when I'm right. At 6:41 on Monday night, the next 2 emails we get, all you gotta do is say door prize. That's it. That's all I gotta say. We will send you. Maybe let us know your name and address too.
Probably be a good idea. Yeah, Colton, you haven't won yet, but if you want to do that, there
You
you
have
go.
to. Yeah,
He's like, I win. No, you haven't.
You have to send an email, not
Who's your father-in-law? Unbelievable.
Anyway, so we would love to send those out to you. Just send us some emails and we'll get those out to you. All right, time for our builder's tip.
Yes.
Builder's tip this week: don't plug everything in.
Uh-oh.
This comes from a very recent episode. We arrived here late last night, got checked into a hotel, and then today, the Heroes graciously have some friends that always allow us to use their church's admissions department. And we went there, and they had some electrical problems. And right before we began to get ready to come here tonight, everything went on the fritz, which is a highly technical electric term. It means everything shut off. and it's because we had too much stuff. Kaput. I think that's the German word.
Donna, I tried.
Yeah. But everything shut off. You know why? Too much stuff plugged in. Sometimes families have too much stuff plugged in.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have to unplug some of those things to keep the family current flow. So your builder's tip for this week is don't plug everything in. That's your builder's tip.
I like it. I like it.
So now it's time. Audience participation. Do you have any questions? You could be a question about almost anything. Okay, Alden has a question. Alden does not have a
You
question.
did give us a thumbs down.
Yes.
So,
He's not from Ghana either. Don't be care what he thinks.
he's gonna go.
I'm trying. Yes, we're here.
So I had a question, how is the best way to deal with sibling rivalries and squabbles within the home and the children?
So
Repeat that just to...
yeah, the question was, what's the best way to deal with sibling rivalries? Well, it's kind of a two-part question, sibling rivalries and squabbles. And I'm assuming you mean squabbles that come from
Correct.
the sibling rivalry. Right?
That's right.
So the rivalry aspect of it can have a lot of different sources. One source, and I don't know your home, so I'm just going to kind of go through all of these. I'm not saying any of these apply to you, okay? But one source of sibling rivalry can be parental favoritism, okay? And I have seen where parents favor one child or another. A lot of times parents will favor a younger child, a baby. The older kid, you know, they're just trouble. The baby is still cute. And so they'll favor the baby, and the older kid resents that. And that can actually carry through even up into teenage years and young adult years if it's not dealt with. Okay? So that's one thing, is parental favoritism. Another way that, or another source of sibling rivalry can be if there's a great disparity in the two siblings, such as one is really academically proficient, the other one maybe has learning difficulties. Or one is really athletic, and the other one's really clumsy. Or one is really tall, and the other one is mean. Sure. Right? Or whatever this is. One sings, one doesn't. One plays the piano, one doesn't. So if there's that kind of thing, and let's just call it what it is, that's nothing but envy and jealousy. And that's dealt with probably most easily, because then you just sit down, the one who's got the envy and jealousy, and say, okay, number one, you are your own person. God made you perfectly. And if God didn't give you the talent He gave your sibling, it's because God has a different plan for your life. Why would you not want God's plan for your life and want this plan? Also, stop it, or there's going to be consequences. So that one's a little more easily dealt with. But you know, and then of course there's other things that can come up where it's just competition, you know, competitiveness and stuff. I know my brother and I were both extremely competitive, and it's very difficult. And that was something we had to learn. It wasn't so much a rivalry, but it would often revolve or devolve down into squabbles because of trying to one-up each other because of our competitiveness. Competitiveness can be great if it's channeled and focused. And that's where just parenting comes in.
Like it.
Did I absolutely want to ring around that? Good, far enough. Okay. Any other questions?
Got time for a few more before we switch gears.
Monique? Yes.
It's not fully formed, it's a little gooey in the middle. Kids in public schools, I know we are supposed to be light and light to, you know, the world at large, but with everything going on right now, do you pull them out? If you can, because some people can't pull their kids out, which to me is hard, because you see what's going on. But what do you say to those parents who can't homeschool their kids? They are afraid for school shootings, and those are happening every other day, it seems like. What's your advice to them? Is yes, they're raising them the Bible way, all of that, but they're dealing with a lot of, they're being confronted with so many things that they shouldn't be, but they are. So how do you address that?
So the question is, what do you tell parents who have kids in public schools that feel like they cannot take them out of a public school? So let me start off with a counterpoint to that premise. Let me give you a couple of different scenarios. Brother Harold, you have a couple of kids.
Yes.
Pick one. I don't care who. Boy, girl, old, young, I don't care.
Sky.
Sky, okay. Let's say that Sky just has this thing she likes to play with knives. I mean, she juggles with them. She throws them at people.
Sky.
She likes to play with knives. And you've told her not to play with knives. But I tell you, well, look, what you should do is you should take all the knives out of your house. And you say, well, but that's too hard. Is that the right answer?
That's too hard?
Yeah. No. You do what you have to do to protect your children. And so you specifically mentioned school shootings. Obviously, that's a thing that is something these days people have to worry about. Whether you're in public school or even just you walk out of your house.
Yeah.
Here tonight, in church. I mean, we've seen it recently on the news. Different churches have had people drive their vehicle into the church and start shooting. I mean, it's been going on for a while. It's getting worse. And man, is getting worse, not better. But when it comes to educating your children, I understand and I agree with the principle that children need to be educated. And I can tell you this absolutely from 100%, knowing my own heart, if I had a choice of my 5 kids not being able to read, not being able to write, not being able to do math, but never having spent a second under the indoctrination of the world that is in public schools, that's what I would choose. It's hard. It absolutely is hard. Homeschooling or Christian schools are expensive. I mean, they're not, you can do it not as expensive, but it's some money. And in this economy, any money is a lot of money. My wife and I went to McDonald's today for lunch. Actually, we just did a podcast episode recently about not going to McDonald's.
They don't remember.
Yeah, but we had to. We were here. I couldn't make it.
They plug everything in.
Yeah, but 2 value meals. 2 value meals. $25. Any money is a lot of money in this economy. I get it. It's hard. The time it takes, the struggle that it is. But it's your kids.
Yeah.
Get them out of public schools. Get them out. That's what I would tell a parent. Now, if the parent's like, well, I've been to the public school, I honestly don't know what to tell you, except you need to spend as much time with your child undoing what they're learning in the public school as the public school is spending teaching your child. That doesn't mean you take them to church, Sunday school, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and this night. That's in addition to the amount of time you need to be spending. So if you got your kid at school from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, that's
A lot of hours.
yeah, that's a lot of hours. That's 7 hours.
That's what I said.
You should be spending 7 hours a day undoing that, in addition to the amount of time you spend each day discipling them in Jesus Christ. Because you simply cannot leave your children to the mercy of a system that is based on denying God's place in our lives.
There's a lot of wisdom in seeing the end of a thing is better than the beginning, or even in the middle of. So in the moment, it is an overwhelming looking sacrifice in the moment, but when you keep eternity in view, I learned a few years ago, we shared on the podcast, I'm raising my grandchildren's parents. That's not something I see right now. I don't have any grandchildren. But in this moment, I'm raising my grandchildren's parents. And so the sacrifice is worth it, knowing that hopefully my grandchildren get saved at a young age. But if I tend to go, well, in the moment it's a lot easier if. I've been married 25 years. My wife has worked outside of the home. She's worked 28 of those 25 years. But outside of the home, I know. But outside of the home, she's worked about 2 years. But for the most part, she's been home, and it's been a blessing. Is that a sacrifice? Absolutely. Did the white well, should we bring it up?
Oh, yes.
I mean, our van would not be our van if she had a job that she worked full-time, but our family wouldn't be what I believe it is today. And so the sacrifice is worth it. It's absolutely
I
worth it.
just want everybody here, you maybe saw me laugh a little bit when he was talking. Everybody here, I want you to picture what I was picturing. Alden as a parent.
Are we giving an invitation on this podcast?
Alden,
Prayer
raising
and
your
fasting.
kids. That's not scary.
Even so, come quickly.
Yes,
I have a question. Did you just
so
call
she
me a
won a
white
prize
whale?
game.
I did not. I knew that was gonna happen. I actually thought he was gonna say that. I don't want to repeat that question.
I didn't hear you.
I said, did you just call me a white whale?
Wow. Okay, so
Please
any other
explain.
questions?
No, you explain. You named it.
I don't. So, y'all familiar with the story of Jonah? And the whale eats Jonah, and after 3 days, the whale's like, some indigestion and
He didn't like white meat.
regurgitates Jonah up onto the beach. The heralds came to visit one day, and they've got this big, giant white van that they shoehorn all 241 of them in. And they came to visit, and the doors open, and I mean, it's like the circus. And just, they come pouring out, and I couldn't help it. I was like, it's like a whale with Jonah. And, of course, if you're familiar with literature, Herman Melville's classic,
What we did.
I don't want to say Ben-Hur. I knew that wasn't right. Moby Dick, right? The white whale. And so it just fit, the white whale. And some people took that differently. And
Me neither.
it was...
No.
No.
We're at the 5-minute mark.
Any other questions? Do we have any from online?
Nope, just listeners. Hi, listeners. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Donna.
Yes.
What counsel, advice, direction do you give to single young people looking for a spouse? Seemingly difficult.
That was an amen right there.
I'm going to say testify.
I'm not asking on my behalf. I'm asking.
I was just going to say.
Are you a prophet? What's going on in the future? That row and me, we need counseling after
I have a question. In this church, if you get married, is that what you graduate out of?
No.
Then you actually are.
Yes, we had to. We'll switch
So,
places.
so the question for you online, the question was, what advice do you give to a young person, but it doesn't have to be a young person, to any person who's single and looking for a spouse? And I'm glad you brought that question up, but that wasn't a plated question. That was just God working, right? Because I had this thought process today. I've kind of had this thing I say on a pretty regular basis from the pulpit in our church. We should not be asking our children what they want to be when they grow up. Right? We should be telling our children, you need to be what God wants you to be when you grow up. Your opinion of it has nothing to do with it. If it did, I'd have been a police officer or a soldier, or a fireman, or possibly an astronaut, or maybe a doctor.
Or a cup.
Definitely a baseball player. And they can do better now than they are. But anyway, the one thing I didn't want to be was a pastor.
Amen.
And it wasn't until I surrendered to the ministry that I knew what genuine peace and happiness is. Right? So we tell our kids, it's not what you want to be. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, Labor Day, we went to visit our son and daughter-in-law in Michigan, and my grandson. So he was sitting with me on the couch. He said, Grandpa, when I grow up, I want to be a builder. I like to build things. And I said, well, that's good. It's good that you like to build things. I said, but let me ask you. I said, have you ever asked Jesus what he wants you to be? And my grandson, he's 6. When you get to a certain point with grandkids, you're just like, we have these grandkids. You don't remember all the ages.
When you get to a certain point with kids, we just have to.
Well, but anyways, he's young. He's like 5 or 6 years old. And I said, have you asked Jesus what he wants you to be? And his response was perfect. It was because it encapsulates what somebody was. He's like, I don't think he'll mind if I'm a builder. And that's my grandson. That's just his personality. He's very logical. He's like, well, I don't think he'll mind. You know, that's what a lot of people have is their attitude about finding a spouse. I want this tall, this short, this ability, this talent. You know, gotta marry a preacher if you're a girl, gotta marry a piano player if you're a boy, gotta marry a beautiful girl, she's gotta have blonde hair, red hair, black hair, brown hair, she's gotta have some hair. Right? If you're a girl, I don't want a guy who's, well, Abel, stand up. I'm just seeing if you're paying attention. Right? But if you're a girl, I've gotta marry this, I've gotta marry this. Listen, we're missing out on God's best because we want our best.
Yeah, that's good.
So if you're single tonight, I want you to do this. All of you orchestra, and all of you out here that are single, I want you to do this. I want you to throw out every idea you've ever had about what your spouse is to be. And I want you to start from square one with this. Lord, I don't care if she's old or young, or he's old or young. I don't care if he or she is fat or skinny. I don't care if they're short or tall. I don't care if they have hair that I like or that nobody likes. I don't care if they've got a big old mole in the face and hair coming out of the mole. I don't care if they, smell funny, look weird, act weird. Lord, I don't care about any of that. I want the spouse you want for me.
Good.
And I can't give you any better advice than that. And it may not be tomorrow, and it may not be next year, but I'm telling you, if you just say, Lord, I'm not going to say no to anyone that you bring into my life until you say no. And I'm not going to say yes to anyone until you say yes. And that's your mentality, and that's your heart. Let me tell you, you're going to find peace and happiness.
Good. I like it. When I was at Bible camp, I said to the Lord, I'll go wherever, whenever, use me however, with whoever. And I kind of meant that. I got a flesh, because I had an asterisk there, never pastor, never live in LA.
Yeah, what there?
I had a, what did I say?
Asterisk?
Asterisk. I can't say it. I can't spell it either.
Yeah, a little star thing.
Yeah, it wasn't the Star of David. No, it wasn't that. But anyway, I had that there, and I told the Lord, I'll do anything you want except this, which is not the way he just explained. And I'm glad my wife did that, because she would not have married me if I was not on her list.
Okay, so that can be a cautionary tale. If you do this, this is where you end up.
Do I stand up now?
The number 21 download podcast in God. Any other questions tonight?
Last one, we gotta quit. Last one.
Any more? All right. We're going to have to close. We appreciate everybody for you listening. Thank you for being with us on this journey of 2 years of the Family Builders Podcast. Our only prayer. We don't do this to make money. In fact, it has cost us a lot. I started to say cost us more than we've ever made, but I don't think we've ever made any.
It cost,
Yeah, so it's not real expensive, but it ain't cheap either. And time, wow, it takes a lot of time. If I had known 2 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I'll just listen to your podcast.
I ignored him for like 3 years.
Yeah. So, but we appreciate you, and we do it for you. We do it for the Lord, but the Lord told us to do it for you. So we hope it's been a blessing. Keep reaching out to us. Keep sending your questions. Keep listening. Keep sharing the podcast with others. God bless you all. Thanks for being with us tonight. Brother Harold.